Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that every relationship you have is a transaction where you are losing. Not dramatically, not violently, slowly, invisibly. The kind of losing that feels like tiredness in your bones. The kind that makes you wonder why you feel empty after giving everything you have. You are exhausted. Not the exhaustion that sleep repairs. This is soul exhaustion. The kind that accumulates when you spend years being the person everyone calls when they need something, but no one remembers when you need anything. You have become a vending machine with a heartbeat. Insert request. Receive compliance. Look around you. Notice the people with half your capability, half your dedication, half your heart. They receive the recognition you deserve. Meanwhile, you receive requests. You receive interruptions. You receive the scraps of attention that fall from tables where others feast on opportunities you created. Here is the paradox that should haunt you. Your greatest virtue has become your deepest wound. The kindness you thought would earn love has earned you exploitation. The availability you thought demonstrated loyalty has demonstrated weakness. Why do they keep taking? Why does your generosity never fill them? The answer will disturb you. They take because you have trained them to take. You have taught them that you are an infinite resource with no boundaries and no price. And the human mind does not value what is freely given. It values what is scarce. It values what might be lost. You are acting like air, vital but invisible, necessary but free. And because you are free, no one treasures you. No one fears losing you. Friedrich Nietzsche recognized that morality itself can become a chain when weaponized by those who benefit from your compliance. Your niceness is not natural. It was installed by parents who needed an easy child, by teachers who needed a quiet student, by a society that needs obedient workers. You were programmed for exploitation before you could speak. Carl Jung went deeper into this wound. He spoke of the shadow, the part of yourself you rejected because you were taught it was unacceptable. Your anger lives in that shadow. Your capacity to say no, to walk away, to let someone suffer consequences. All of it was exiled into darkness because someone told you that good people do not feel those things. But Jung understood the cost. He said he would rather be whole than good, because goodness without wholeness is merely performance. A mask worn by someone terrified of their own depths. The manipulators in your life sense this terror, not consciously, but in the primitive, predatory part of their psychology that scans for vulnerability. They feel your desperate need for approval. They feel where you are incomplete, and they install themselves there like parasites, finding a host. Jean-Paul Sartre observed that we become objects in others' perception. When you allow yourself to become useful rather than valued, you become a tool. And tools do not have needs requiring reciprocity. Tools exist to serve. You have made yourself a tool. Now you wonder why you are being used like one. The exploitation has restructured your brain. Every time you abandon your own needs, your neural pathways reinforce the message. I am secondary. My boundaries are selfish. This is neuroscience. You have wired yourself for self-abandonment. Consider the invisible tax you pay daily. When you say yes to extra work while drowning, you say no to your health. When you answer late-night messages from people who never ask how you are, you say no to your peace. When you forgive repeated disrespect without consequence, you say no to your dignity. Every yes costs a no somewhere else. And you have been saying yes to everyone except yourself. The sunk cost fallacy keeps you trapped. You have invested so much in these relationships that walking away feels like wasting everything you gave. So you give more. You stay in situations draining you because leaving would mean admitting the investment was wasted. But the investment is already wasted. You just have not accepted it yet. Viktor Frankl survived the concentration camps and emerged with a profound understanding. Even in extreme suffering, the last human freedom remains: the freedom to choose your response. You still have that freedom. You have simply forgotten how to use it. Here is where everything inverts. The shift you need is not about becoming cruel. It is about becoming capable. A harmless person is not a good person. A harmless person is simply harmless. There is no virtue in being peaceful when you are incapable of opposition. True virtue requires choice, and choice requires power. You must develop the capacity to be dangerous, not to use that capacity, but to have it. When others sense that you could walk away, that you could unleash consequences they do not want to face, they treat you differently. Not because you threaten them, but because they recognize your peace is chosen, not compelled. This is what Jung meant by integrating the shadow. Reclaim the anger you swallowed, the selfishness you suppressed, the aggression you feared. These are not flaws to eliminate. They are powers to integrate. When you set a boundary, you must be willing to enforce it. This means being willing to lose the relationship, being willing to be called selfish, being willing to be the villain in their story. The moment you demonstrate that your boundary is real, everything shifts. Their primitive brain recategorizes you. Not safe to exploit. Worthy of respect. Now we arrive at the deepest truth. You were never fighting for their respect. You were fighting for permission to respect yourself. The external validation you sought was never about them. It was about finding evidence that you were allowed to exist without apologizing, that your needs were legitimate. But here is the liberation. You do not need their permission. You never did. The respect you crave is not located outside you. It is located inside you, in the silent agreement you make with yourself about what you will and willn't accept. When you finally make that agreement, something alchemical happens. The exhaustion lifts, not because circumstances changed, but because the internal war ended. You are no longer fighting yourself. Schopenhauer wrote that our desires are often not our own. They are inherited, conditioned, and installed by forces beyond our awareness. But the moment you see the programming, you are no longer fully controlled by it. Awareness is freedom's first step. You are aware now. You see how you were trained. You see who benefits from your compliance. You see the prison you built with your own hands. The door is unlocked. It always was. Walk through it. Let them call you selfish. Let them mourn the version of you that served them. That version was never really you. It was a survival adaptation created by a child who believed love had to be earned through labor. You are not that child anymore. 6 months from now, you could be unrecognizable. Someone who speaks without apology. Someone who declines without guilt. Someone whose presence is a gift rather than an obligation. This version of you is not cruel. They are complete. They have integrated every exiled part into a unified force that cannot be manipulated because there are no fractures to exploit. The people who benefited from your servitude will resist this transformation. They will call it selfishness. They will try to reinstall the old programming with guilt and obligation. Let them try. You are no longer the person who believed worth was measured by willingness to bleed. Your worth exists independent of their recognition. It exists because you exist. Stop handing it over. The price of universal approval is self-hatred. You have been paying that price your entire life. Today, The account closes. Reclaim your energy. Rebuild your boundaries. Resurrect the parts of yourself you killed to make others comfortable. You are not here to be used. You are here to be whole. The world will adjust. It has no choice, because the person who needed their validation no longer exists. Only you remain, complete, untouchable, finally free.